The fallout is continuing, and it is delicious, with the Trump administration and the Epstein monster they created is now threatening to eat them alive. I have Candace Owens talking badly about the Trump administration. I have Tucker Carlson. I have Megyn Kelly, Ben Shapiro, Tim Poole, all talking about how stupid the Trump administration are for doing this and almost getting it. They're so close to getting it. And then the Trump administration has actually come out and has tried to quell the fervor around this, and I have that for you as well. You let me know if you believe what they're saying. Let's go through all these. Candace Owens basically said that she thinks that Trump thinks people are stupid.
What is happening now is it seems like you think your base is stupid. That's how I feel. I feel like Trump thinks his base is stupid, or again, because I don't think he's pressing send on these messages, the people around him certainly think that Trump is stupid.
So close to getting it. That's going to be a theme of this video. So close to getting it. Because he does think you're all stupid. He does. I think he actually hates his base. And he would never hang out with the people who voted for him and who love him. Tucker Carlson is also saying, I'll let him say it.
I guess they're just so dumb, they didn't realize that if you tell everybody you have the tapes of these crimes and then you issue a memo saying you're not going to prosecute anybody for the crimes, what are you saying? I'm covering up for the perpetrators of these crimes. Duh. They have no one with an IQ over 80 over there to read the memos? Are you kidding?
I don't like that he's been making sense lately. We're in some sort of bizarro universe where Tucker Carlson is the one making the most sense right now. Don't worry, he's still a racist idiot, but he is making sense. Tim Poole said this about the Trump administration and what Trump has done.
What I think is interesting here is Trump has backed himself into a corner with a miserable response. Dan Bongino's done poorly. Kash Patel has done poorly. Pam Bondi has done poorly. And so it's hard for me to believe that all of these abject failures in the response in the Epstein story are an accident. Though they probably are. I'm just saying, like, isn't it hard to believe they screwed up this bad?
So close to getting it. You are so close to getting it. And can you imagine, just pausing for a second, can you imagine if and when, God forbid, we suffer an actual crisis in this country? This is our FBI. This is our Attorney General. This is how they're handling the Epstein case. How are they going to handle a terrorist attack? How are they going to handle any sort of crisis that hits this country? I'm going to guess not well, bitch. Not well. And it didn't stop there. We have Marjorie Taylor Greene pushing against what's happening.
And that is the question, why? We know nothing about the people that hung out with Jeffrey Epstein. We should. There are things you have to continue to push for, and you're not wrong to do it. And it doesn't make you a conspiracy theorist. It makes you right to continue to hold your government accountable at all times. But I also want more out of the Department of Justice. I do. I want the list of those names. And I'm not sorry to say that. I think it's the right thing to do to continue to push for accountability.
MAGA senses that there's blood in the water. First off, I don't care. I mean, Pam Bondi's gonna go. I don't know when. I don't know if it's gonna be today, in a week, in 2 months. Her time is limited, but the smart people in MAGA who don't have power are going to latch onto this and be able to keep running with the base and leading them along the trail of Epstein, where there is no evidence, where there probably isn't a list, but they're going to be able to garner attention, power, and money as they keep this conspiracy theory alive. That's what's going to happen right now. Here's Megyn Kelly, again, so close to getting it.
Either Pam Bondi is royally screwed up. I mean, she has. That's not in dispute. She's royally screwed up. And the president is just forgiving her because she's a loyal soldier and, you know, he likes her and he doesn't want to go through the messy confirmation process of getting somebody else in there. So that's possible. That's definitely a possible number one. And there's no there in the files anyway, right? Like the way she screwed up was overpromising when she didn't have the goods, and she genuinely doesn't have the goods. And so the big mistake was overpromising, and the president doesn't really care about that mistake. Or there is something there and it's being covered up and the president blessed it, right? But I didn't say, or there's a child sex ring that he's actively covering up, because the truth is I think there's some middle ground between 1 and 2.
So close to getting it. They're all just so close to getting it. I feel like they're just on the tip of their tongues. It's like, yes, that is actually what's happening. Donald Trump is likely implicated, and he doesn't want to release these documents because he's implicated, and so are his billionaire buddies. And I'm not going to play this long clip, but Ben Shapiro then responds and says there's two theories of this particular case. One, Pam Bondi overpromised and underdelivered, or two, there's an active cover-up by the Trump administration, and he's engaging in a child sex trafficking ring. Yeah, MAGA is just like, wait, I don't get it. Now, Charlie Kirk said this moments ago.
Honestly, I'm done talking about Epstein for the time being. I'm going to trust my friends in the administration. I'm going to trust my friends in the government to do what needs to be done, solve it, balls in their hands. I've said plenty this last weekend. So if you guys want to see my commentary on it, that's fine.
He's over it. So what happened with Charlie Kirk is the president actually called him. The president called him and said, hey, can you lay off? And look, this is independent media. This is independent media. And I'm going to end with this. Benny Johnson had Lara Trump on. I refuse to learn her name. She kind of teased out that the Trump administration has more to come around Epstein because they can't let this thing die, because if they let it die, then they're dead.
What would be your advice? Given this back and forth, we're just coming off of Turning Point here in Tampa. This was the topic of conversation. What would be your advice in order to take the temperature down on this issue from within the administration?
Well, I do think that there needs to be more transparency on this. And I think that will happen. I mean, look, I don't know what truly exists there, but I know that this is something that's important to the president as well. He does want transparency on all these fronts, that everything we're talking about, because it's frustrated him as well. He sat for 4 years like the rest of us did and saw lie after lie and saw our country just being sent down the wrong path. And it was really frightening and very upsetting to a lot of people to see. And I would actually say over the past 10 years, we've all kind of endured this. Prior to that, it was probably happening, Benny, but we just weren't as aware of it. It wasn't until Donald Trump came down that golden escalator that he just kind of blew the doors off of everything. And people started to wake up and realize, wait a minute, things are not as they have always been presented to us. And I do believe that you will see that. Now, as it relates to the president, I know that this is probably not his number one thing he's focused on. He's focused on a lot of other important things. We've got this big announcement with Russia going on, I think, as we're speaking right now at the White House. We have, a Middle East. We're trying to get peace over there. We're trying to make sure that Iran's nuclear arsenal is obviously completely decimated. We want to make sure everything is on the right track for this country. Fortunately, you've seen no border crossings in the last month. 0, by the way. I think that's incredible. No one's talking about that enough.
All right, I don't want to watch any more propaganda. Clean up on aisle Epstein. Clean up on aisle Epstein. That was not a really believable job from Lara Trump. I think she went on to say, to anyone worked up out there, there is no plot to keep this information away. I'm sure we will know down the line. Oh, it's always in 2 weeks. It's always in 2 weeks with MAGA, isn't it? Well, MAGA adjacent people who might be watching this, it's okay. You got played. And I'm not going to judge you. Maybe other people will. I'm not going to judge you. You can join the other side. You can join the side of truth. You don't have to be a Democrat. But I'm just saying, you do not want to be in MAGA because they play you. You got played. And if you really are an independent thinker, then be independent and get the hell out of that cult. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit like on the video. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Bye.